what does Fenrir do that... Does Fenrir do enough damage for it to override this, right? Can it beat Golden Eye? Which is a good question, because there's a way after a patch for Fenrir to actually beat Golden Eye, and you don't need to hit 4 times as well. But it also means that you need to utilize double engraving. What do I mean by this, right? Remember earlier how like I was talking about Sharpshooter when you can Fenrir at this after Fenrir, right? After Fenriring, you can spacebar snipe, turn on this thing, right? Guess what's happening right now, right? Basically, when you do that, right? When you do that combo, this means that you are making use of Loyal Companion's 10% attack power, which is not possible usually in your rotation, because this 10% attack power disappears the moment you throw Last Rush, right? The moment you nuke your Hawk like that, your attack, the 10% attack power from Double Companion disappears. But because you're using Fenrir, right, what you can do is that you can do this combo. So you throw Atomic Arrow first, right? You throw Last Rush. Now you use Fenrir, spacebar, okay, instantly summon the Hawk on Snipe. Burst like that. Before Death Strike disappears, you throw Death Strike. Finish your skill rotation. And that's how you make use of it, right? What just happened was that instead of a regular combo with Death Strike is simply, you know, you throw this, right? Like that. Actually, let me use it with Golden Eye instead. So let me wait for the debuff to disappear, right? Once the debuff disappears, let's say you do it like that, right? So this is the regular combo, Awakening, right? With Awakening as fast as you can, Charge Shot, get the 6 stacks, Snipe, Sharpshooter, Arrow Wave. And you did about 148. That is the Sharpshooter combo that most, or like every Sharpshooter really does when it comes to bursting as fast as possible, right? You try to throw every single thing into the 8 seconds. What does this mean? This means that this combo will only work if the boss doesn't really move much, right? Because you saw how tight it was, right? The 8 seconds into the Awakening, into Charge Shot, into Snipe, into Sharpshooter, into Arrow Wave. Everything is very time constraining, right? You need 8 seconds to finish all of these skills. So having attack speed or having a support that gives the relic set, or, you know, longing set, blah blah blah, a blade, a war dancer to give you attack speed, will benefit you a lot when it comes to bursting like this. But what about Fenrir then, right? The good thing about Fenrir is instead of it being so constricting, right? And because if the boss moves away, right, and you fire Golden Eye, you also lose damage. But it's different. It's a little bit different with Fenrir, right? This boss is quite big, but I tried this in multiple raids with smaller bosses already. You can hit Fenrir 3 times even on smaller bosses, because the Fenrir is so big that it passes through them. So let's see it now, right? I did 148, right? So right now, let's say the ideal situation is that I'm gonna shoot it from a distance, right? Even if I were to shoot it close, it's alright, but let's say from an ideal distance, and we make use of the Loyal Companion 10%, can we beat 148? So we start like that, right? You throw this, throw Loyal Companion, Last Rush, spacebar, right? Like that. Charge Shot, nuke the Hawk instantly. Sharpshooter. Look at how much more damage we did compared to Golden Eye. Look at how much more damage we did with Fenrir, right? By simply hitting 3 times, and you also get an additional toss of a Hawk. So you're basically, there's so much benefits that's going on in this fight itself that it simply, you know, it just overpowers the Golden Eye, right? In my opinion, at least from what I've seen and what I've tested, I think it is very likely that I will run Fenrir for all of my raids after this buff, because I don't see much of a reason to run Golden Eye anymore. There's just so much benefits from this. Let's start with the first one, right? What was one of Golden Eye's weakness? Golden Eye's weakness was when you throw Atomic Arrow, right? you have to finish everything in 8 seconds. But it's different with Fenrir, you see. When you use Fenrir, right, you throw Atomic Arrow, you nuke this, you have 8 seconds to land the skill. You throw that. Instantly you swap like that, right? Spacebar. Nuke the Hawk before Death Strike finishes. And you do your combo. So the first benefit is you are not tight on time when doing this combo. Well, sort of not tight on time, because the moment you throw Fenrir, right, you have 8 seconds, Fenrir lands, and you after charging up and shooting Fenrir, you roughly have 4 seconds to try and fit Snipe and Charge Shot into your damage, right? Try and fit Snipe and Charge Shot into the damage, and then you nuke your Hawk onto the boss, right? So that it refreshes the Death Strike, and it also takes the Death Strike beforehand as bonus damage, right? So originally when you just throw your Death Strike like that, it does 11 mil. But what happens if you throw your Hawk and it takes the bonus, right? You get 13 mil. Basically, Last Rush is benefiting from the previous Last Rush, which is not something that's possible for the most part. But now that you have this awakening, you can do this combo. And it's very, very arguably the highest burst combo that a sharpshooter can do right now, right? This is your strongest burst. This rotation is the strongest burst that you can do. It beats GoldenEye by a huge amount.